It is also next to West Executive Drive. That's where, for example, the vice president's vehicle is parked.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you an update on the White House cocaine story. Now, this situation is totally embarrassing, completely ridiculous, and it's full of lies, misinformation, misleading statements, all types of things. Now, we all know what happened. There was some cocaine found in the White House, but the place they said that it wasn't there. They said it was somewhere else. It wasn't there. Then it was a whole different location, which changed the entire story. They're not really trying to say who it belongs to or who it doesn't belong to, talking about, oh, we're never going to find out. Meanwhile, there's cameras everywhere all over the White House. There's security checkpoints to get into the White House, several security checkpoints. It is easy to determine who the cocaine belonged to, but for some reason, nobody knows, and it's a mystery, and we're never going to find out. Now, I got quite a few things on my screen that I want to share with you guys, and I will link to everything in the description box if you want to see it for yourself. If you're on IG, link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. Here's a good meme, I guess you would say, that is very accurate as it relates to what's happening right now. First, they said there was no cocaine. Oh, that's not really cocaine, or maybe it is. We got to test it out. It could be anthrax. Anthrax? Huh? If it's anthrax, that's worse, but I'll get to that part a little bit later. They knew on Sunday that it was cocaine because the fire department came out and tested it, and it tested positive for cocaine. We have the police scanner audio of them saying that it was cocaine. But then they said, oh, we got to do some more testing. Testing for what? To try and buy some time, to stall, to get the story together. That was the first thing. Then they said, well, it was cocaine, but it could have been put there by a tourist. Okay. That's when they said that it was in the library. Then it was in highly trafficked area of the West Wing. But then they said it was in the basement. So it couldn't have been the tourists because there are no tourists in the basement of the West Wing. The next thing. Yeah, the cocaine was in a secure area, but it wasn't Hunter. That's where we are right now. Or they won't really say if it was Hunter's or if it was Joe's or whatever. And the next step, if they do determine that it was Hunter's, which they probably don't want to admit publicly, then they're going to say, well, you know, it was Hunter's, but he's an addict and he's going through a few things. That's what's happening right now, today. That's where we are right now. Now, this is a video that has kind of gone viral of Hunter, and I'm not quite sure if this was on that Friday before he left with his family to go to Camp David. But you can see what's happening right here. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, clearly something's going on. I mean, look, like that right there appears to be the face and gesture and body language of a guy who is high on drugs. If it's not, then I can't tell. Okay. Doing all kind of sniffing action and whatnot. Like, what are we really doing? What's going on? Okay. Now, here is Karine Jean-Pierre talking about the cocaine. And I think this is before they admitted that it was found in the secure area of the West Wing. This is her talking about, oh, it was in the highly touristy area. Let's check this out.
Area. I just don't have anything more to share. It is under. As you know, this is under the purview of the Secret Service. They are currently investigating what happened over the weekend, so I would have to refer you to the Secret Service on all of this. But one thing that I can share, that I'll share a little bit more information. As you know, the President and the First Lady and their family were not here this weekend, as you all reported on this, and as you also know that they left on Friday and returned just yesterday. Where this was discovered is a heavily traveled area where many White House, West Wing, I should be even more specific, West Wing visitors come through this particular area. I just don't have anything more to share.
That was false because it was in the basement. That's not where tourists go. Tourists are not going to be by the Situation Room. All right. Now, even MS-13 DNC had to admit that. Let's see what my man right here with the funny hairstyle has to say.
bag of cocaine that was found in the building behind you a few days ago. An investigation by the Secret Service. NBC News has some new reporting about where the bag was found, contrary to where it had been reported to.
See, look, this right here is a map of the West Wing basement. You have Situation Room, Navy and Mess Kitchen, video conferencing room. You got Secret Service. That's not where tourists go. They're not going to be down here hanging out. That's just not what it is. Homeland Security, that is not where tourists go.
Have been found, but the investigation continues, and we may not, it sounds like, have an answer who it belongs to.
No, I think that's right. That, the location of this is really important because it tells us as reporters and as people who know how this kind of White House looks and who goes where, who are the people who might have had access, right? You heard the White House continuing to talk about how the area in which it was found, though that's changed a little bit, was in an area that's has a lot of foot traffic. And this idea that the Secret Service is handling this, the White House has said, we're not talking about this. You're looking at this map here, the West Wing, kind of in the basement of the West Wing, as opposed to all these other areas that we've heard. And we have been told, political by Secret Service folks for days, that we may never know.
That's what they're going to say. We'll never know, but yet you're in a highly secure area and you're never going to know what's going on. I mean, cut it out. Now, here is MS-13 DNC or MSNBC, as you guys may know, speaking more about the situation, about the basement of the West Wing and whatnot, but now they're trying to throw Kamala Harris under the bus. Let's check this out.
Kelly, the big change is where this was found. And it was found, by my observation, in a much more secure place, limited access place than that West Wing reception area. It's still a frequently trafficked place, but it's down near the Situation Room, right off West Executive, down below. And average people just can't get in there, even with the entry from the Northwest Gate.
Correct.
Well, let me bring you up to date with the reporting that I have. What we have learned is that there are, in fact, two West Wing entrances. You know that, I know that, but for the benefit of our audience. And now the investigation has progressed, and so they're saying the West Executive entrance, which, as you noted, is closer to the Situation Room and closer to the Navy mess, where there's the facilities for food and so forth. It is also next to West Executive Drive. That's where, for example, the vice president's vehicle is parked.
Now, why would you mention that? Why is that important to talk about the vice president's vehicle? You see, they will do stuff like that. They'll say, oh, well, we're just describing where this is. We'll give you more information, give you the lay of the land. They say things like that to put little nuggets in your brain to be like, okay, vice president, vehicle's parked right there. Then you might want to go try to put two and two together and figure it out that way. So you're trying to throw Kamala Harris under the bus? I mean, come on. You think that cocaine belongs to her? Could it? Of course it could belong to her. But let's be all the way real. Let's talk about the guy who has a history of drug addiction. And speaking about that, the White House is not really going to answer the question that is the $1 million question. Can we say that the cocaine does not belong to Hunter or Joe? Let's hear this. Let's see the response to this question.
President Trump has made some pretty wild posts recently on social media. One of them was that the cocaine found in the White House had belonged to either the president or his son. Are you willing to say that that's not the case, that they don't belong to them?
I don't have a response to that because we have to be careful about the Hatch Act. What I will say is that I have noticed there does seem to be some increasing frustration coming from that corner in general. And I think it is probably rooted in the contrast between their substantive policy record.
Huh? What are you talking about, Mr. Bates? That right there made no sense. That was the biggest clump of word salad that I've ever heard in my life. I'm exaggerating, but it's right up there. Hatch Act. What does that got to do with this cocaine belonging to Hunter Biden or Joe Biden? What's that got to do with it? This whole thing right here makes no sense at all. This was an obvious dodge. As I said before, I've been to the White House, inside the White House 3 different times, 2018, 2019, and 2020, inside the White House. I'm talking about South Lawn. I've done the whole thing within arm's reach of the president, like right there, right in front of me. And you have security checkpoints you go through. It's like going through TSA. You can't just bring in cocaine to the White House. Now, some are going to say, what's the big deal, ABL? Just cocaine, legalized drugs. That's somebody that has a room temperature IQ, because the White House is a secure place. You can't just bring whatever you want in there. Okay, you can't bring illegal substances, a gun or a weapon. You can't do that in there. That's like saying I should bring my gun inside the White House because I got Second Amendment rights. That's silly. That's not how that works. The White House is a secure location. You cannot just bring stuff in there like that, okay? Because if you could bring cocaine in there, why not anthrax? Why not some kind of explosive? This is a national security risk, and I think they know who did it, because you have cameras everywhere, all over the facility, and you have technology they won't even know about that they use. But they don't want to tell us who the cocaine belongs to, because that would be a really big problem for the Biden family, in my humble opinion. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here? What's going on with this story? What's up with all the lies and the misdirection and the media trying to gaslight and do different things and talking about, oh, it could be Kamala Harris's? Whatever your thoughts on the whole thing, the whole situation are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I stand. This is completely embarrassing. The cocaine being found in the White House was bad enough, but then all the lies, the misdirection, the feigning ignorance, talking about, oh, the Hatch Act and ridiculous stuff that's being said from these people, it just kind of blows my mind. But I can't really say I'm surprised. This is what political people do. This is what the Biden administration does. I'm not surprised at all. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.